What's going on, everyone? It's the Niskel. Welcome back to Resident Evil 4. We've had our run-in with it. That's half of the major adversities of this chapter done. So now we just need to, do the rest of our missions, such as find Ashley and whatnot. I mean, what else could they throw at us? We've already had Knife Man just show up and be like, hey, I'm intimidating. Also, I know you. Leon, you're a loser. Bye. Now what else could they throw at us? I mean, not much. Although I always am curious as to what could be around the corner. We have a very intimidating set of circumstances right now, so maybe just a giant bug will attack us again, just like it. Oh, I do like this. See all those guys around the camp? See all those explosive barrels? What? Oh, okay, there we go. I guess my reticle was just high enough to miss everything, and for some reason, I always miss this guy. So this guy is just out of reach of all the red explosive barrels, and you have to kill him regularly. Otherwise, he'll just climb the ladder and try to attack you anyway. He is the one lone survivor of the massive explosion at the camp. All the stories he could tell if Leon let him live, but unfortunately he's infected, so he had to die. You don't want to miss this over here. Outside of the campgrounds, there's a yellow herb. Please pick that up. Do not be a fool. Also a little something over there. Gotta pick that up before we leave. And I guess this is your cooldown period. You just fought a gigantic boss. A very hurtful boss. He did a lot of damage. So this is just your... let's pick up some supplies. Let's loot their camp. Let's make sure they won't miss it. They're all dead. I killed them all. Loot their camp, grab all their supplies, because there's plenty. This is kind of like a little ammo outpost. So it makes sense even within the context of the game. But the main thing you want to do down here is take a right, grab this beauty, the Blue Stone of Treason. Let's go ahead and pop that in the Golden Links for a completed Golden Links, all 3 gems. Look at that beauty. Oh, it's going to sell for so much. Anyway. Another thing you want to do is come up here and take a left for, I'm not kidding, 10,000 free pesetas. Sorry, 5,000 free pesetas. I was thinking of a different part of the game. 5,000 free pesetas just sitting there in one of the boxes. If you haven't done the shooting gallery game, there's one right next to us. But hey, look at this. Ooh, a note from Krauser. And he is the one that kidnapped Ashley. I caught on quick, as expected. After all, I know where he and I come from. I was trying to do that. Oh, he's going to put me in a body bag. Well, that's not helpful. Welcome. Let's not have that happen. Off screen, I actually did go into that shooting gallery, and I was hoping I'd be wrong when I said they didn't update the background.
What are you?
Unfortunately, they don't. It's still the castle background. So that kind of sucks. You get all the way here and you're thinking, oh, maybe there's one more trick up its sleeve. No, there isn't. After I was done with that first that last shooting gallery there, and I got the rest of the figures, that was it. That was all the tricks of the trade. I'm all done buying stuff here. Could have bought another Killer 7, but of course past me is a big, dumb, stupid head that doesn't like good firepower.
Come back.
So we're done.
Time.
We've got a note from Krauser stating that he will kill us, and I don't like that very much, so I'm not going to let that happen. But I think you know what's coming up here next. Mm-hmm. If you know what 1 + 1 is, you know exactly what's coming up next. You always got to check the flames, man. If you don't check the flames, there might be an emerald burning in there. Just a little tidbit here. I would reload everything and also have a few healing items handy. Because if this is your first time playing this section, you're going to get ripped up. It is not beginner friendly. Just be wary of your surroundings. Something could show up at any moment.
So, you two are all hooked up now, is that it?
Where's Ashley? Do you really want to know? She's beyond that gate. But you'll need 3 insignias to open it.
What are you gonna do, Krauser?
There's one in the north, and the other in the east.
And let me guess, you got the last one.
It pretty much means you're on a tight leash.
Sounds like you thought this one out pretty well.
Yeah, so Leon's really lucky in the fact that he didn't get shot at least once. But apparently he's not lucky enough to stand behind crumbling, walls, I guess. This is Krauser's boss fight. You have a lot of running away from Krauser. He is not going to leave you alone. If you thought that one time he was just shooting at you was the only time you're going to see him, no, he's coming after you. And now I'd like to introduce a segment of Messing with Krauser. His AI's a little buggy, and has been since the very beginning of Resident Evil 4's conception. You get him in the right position, and he kind of doesn't know what to do. He's trying to, you know, do a one-on-one knife duel with me, but he just can't get past this gosh darn ladder. Any opportunity I have to mess with Krauser's AI is an A+ in Resident Evil 4's book. He's going to continuously do this until the end of time, by the way. Or at least until I deal enough damage to him. Oh, there he goes. In order to advance, you have to deal enough damage to him. You can use your knife, which I actually suggest highly. You can deal enough damage here. He is very good at dodging, however. Every time he does that, like, whoosh move, he has dodged an attack and you're just wasting ammo. Now, the one thing you do want to do is hit him from behind. Or in the face. He's still not going to catch me, by the way. If I stay here, he can't get me. You know, I just have to deal with just a few more hits, and eventually... Oh! Well, I thought he was just gonna, you know, actually use that AI to his advantage, but nope! He still doesn't know what to do. Ah, there we go. So as soon as you deal enough damage, he'll throw a flashbang and escape. You're free to move on with the next segment. And we need to find those 3 insignias. Oh boy. Now, be very careful. Look for shadows, because he could be... Uh-oh. He could just be right there. Oh, close quarters. Krauser is a very close quarters enemy. He will run right up to you and just knife you in the face. Now, sometimes you will get those. You will get a one-on-one knife duel. Those are the easiest ways to deal damage to Krauser. Just be really quick on your button pressing, on your Wiimote waggling. Ow. It doesn't happen all the time. Most of the time, after you deal damage to him with a gun or whatnot, and he, like, whooshes up to you, that's when he does a one-on-one duel. Which I really like. Keeps it tense, keeps it fast. You can get easily killed by it. It's not a fun time. He can deal a lot of damage with that. And for the love of God, never turn your back to him, especially when he's rushing up to you. It's not a good time. Let's just say that. Now, depending on how far away you are from Krauser in his next spawn point, because he basically just vanishes and appears at a different side of the map as you're making your rounds around this entire place. See, right there, he jumped from this ceiling to get to where I was. Now we're just going to have a little happy fun times here. Krauser is also an interesting example of the AI director. He actually has different loadouts depending on what the AI director is telling him. He can also have helpful robot buddies. We might see them now, we might see them later, but there are robots that can show up in this little housing development here. They can actually show up if you're doing extremely well, and the AI director thinks, you know what, you're doing too well, let's send some bad guys after you. And they hurt. Sometimes they hurt more than Krauser.
What do you intend to do restoring Umbrella?
To bring order and balance to this insane world of ours.
A psycho like you can't bring order or balance.
You don't seriously think a conservative mind can chart a new course for the world, do you?
Oh my god, he's talking like an Umbrella employee. I will save the world! I will bring balance to this crazy world of ours by having Umbrella take over the world. You know, the president has to make, like, nuke calls every other weekend. You know, just, oh, that darn Umbrella. They infected the world again. That timing is so quick. Ay. Okay, see if we can pump a few bullets. I want to save my magnum ammo because I bet you've already figured out that this isn't the last time we'll have to fight him. That comes a little bit later. Plus, we have 2 more insignias to get, so, you know, he's holding out.
Don't just stand there. Come out and fight like a man.
I'm not falling for that one.
Just trying to have fun.
Now, I love that little bit there, because if you don't respond, nothing changes. He still throws a grenade at you. He still comes down and attacks you. And by the way, this is the easiest way to just, like, stop him from doing anything, is just continuously shooting him. And there we go, we've already dealt enough damage. I actually want to talk about Krauser as a character, because if you've gone through the normal timeline of Resident Evil, like 0 through 4, you have no idea who this guy is, and I don't blame you. Krauser has only shown up, to my knowledge, in one other game that has been released for the Resident Evil series, and that's Darkside Chronicles for the Wii. The rail shooter Resident Evil that was a sequel to Umbrella Chronicles and made people motion sick because it had shaky cam, for God's sake, and a rail shooter. That does not make a game that is easy to play. But yeah, it actually had its own chapter where you, as Leon, could fight alongside Krauser on a separate mission. And that's the only other time, to my knowledge, that he's been around. So all of a sudden having this character with backstory with Leon is kinda hilarious to me because it doesn't work at all. But But it doesn't matter because Krauser is a cool character and I like his interactions with Leon. And I just love the fact that he is a tactician with a somewhat broken AI that I can exploit for the comedy of people watching my YouTube videos. Let's see. Oh, I don't actually have to fight him if I just pull that switch and head down through that area there. By the way, I love how acrobatic he is. All of these fights are actually optional. And if you really want an easy time, knife him. I'm not kidding. If you can pull out your knife fast enough and go for his knees, it's an easy win. There's his little robot buddies. He's got 2 types. The ones that are walkers on the ground, well, they explode. They'll actually walk up to you and explode, but if you can catch them off guard, you can just blow them up, and there you go. He also has gunner robots, and those are the more annoying ones. Those ones will actually fly up in the air out of your reach, and they have a pretty good range, so be wary of that. Oh, speak of the devil. No. Okay. Okay. We're good. That was a gunner bot. He's dead. Oh, and something kind of neat. We've already seen it with some of the bomber bots. Some of them will just hide in the ground, and it's really clever.
What is it that you fight for, comrade?
My past, I suppose.
Umbrella.
And then we have these conversations about the past, and ow, I blew up. We have all these different conversations about what am I fighting for? Ooh, Umbrella. I was associated with them, except not really. I was just, you know, a lone police officer. None of this makes any sense. It's cheesy, and I love it. It's another silly reason that I love this game to death, especially this chapter, because I always like fighting Krauser. I always do love that 7-death cutscene that you do. Just tests your reflexes, and it's so nice. Everything comes together in a big cheesy package, and Resident Evil 4 would be the last time the series took itself just the right amount of serious until it grew up and became all about the harsh realities of zombies. And then it reached senility and became fun again. We've got an arena, you know what that means. It's also giving you plenty of stuff to work with. Guess what? Insignia 2.
Two down, one more to go, Krauser.
We'll see about that. Witness the power!
You've lost it completely, Krauser.
Prepare for your death, Leon.
Found it! Yeah, that's the way to start a boss fight. Krauser in his mutated form. He now has a giant shield arm. That if you watch that cutscene very carefully, it was a gigantic middle finger blade. It's so great. I also love that he has to ask us, or basically warn us, to prepare for our death. Again, such a cheesy line. Aim for the feet, aim for the legs, and if you're using the Wii version, continuously waggle that Wiimote because the knife cripples him. In fact, he's dead. Pretty much, at least. Krauser, you are such a cool character, but I'm sorry. Your boss fight is ruined by Leon's amazing knife. You can end that fight in seconds with that knife. And it is glorious. You don't even have to fire a shot. You can end him with a knife. And I'll be sure to show that off, but I just wanted to give an example. He has a few attacks, some of them instant death, especially that quick time event that you can do at the very beginning. It doesn't instantly kill you, but it can cause an instant death. There's just so many factors that are great about that boss fight. You can make it as hard or as easy as you want. And if you're really good at pulling out the knife, it can be as stupid easy as you want. Speedrunners love this fight because it takes no time at all. I love this chapter. And unfortunately, it's all over. After Krauser's been defeated, walk through the door, and that's it. Well, since there were so many opportunities to die, might as well show some of them, because there's a lot! First off, I want to show this. The AI director was playing in my favor and changed up his attacks. He actually now has a slow-firing bowgun bolt that explodes. Another thing is, after you defeat Krauser in the updated versions on Next Gen, you can get an achievement or a trophy. Thanks a lot, Krauser. You were useful for something. And now for another opportunity of messing with Krauser. For some reason, he could not get through this door and shoot me. In fact, I tried to get close in order for him to kill me because I was recording deaths for this. He just really wants to shoot me through the wall, not even remotely close to where I really am. I was using the Ditman glitch, so I decided to have a little bit of fun. Whoop! He won't be able to catch me. I'm too quick. In fact, we are now in sync. We are brothers, the way we were back in the old times. Remember it, Krauser. Remember when we used to jump through windows at the same time. Look at us go! Now, to show off this amazing boss fight in all of its glory, you do not have to fire a shot. Of course, you have to be really close to him. Now, I've noticed that this has gotten easier in later versions. If you're playing the GameCube version, Leon pulls out his knife extremely slowly, but any version after that, it is extremely fast, and it actually works to your advantage. Especially when he does that kick move. If he does that kick move, he is done. There we go. Get him up against the wall, knife him again. I think it takes 10 knives to kill him. No time at all. Done. And now it's time to die. A lot. Here you go. Yeah, the very first thing you see in that cutscene is Leon dying. Great.
As expected. After all,
Sometimes they reuse a few deaths, like this one. Look out!
Sadler developed.
Oh, be careful!
like you.
And, of course, there's this one. Boo! Now you'll be able to see me push buttons really quickly.
Die, comrade.
The many deaths of the Krauser cutscene, and some of them are reused, so I'm going to say there's 5 out of 7 that you can find. These lasers really hurt! Oh, be careful of its tentacle. He doesn't like your neck. Oh, and watch for the ceiling. This is a nightmare. Be sure not to be half the man you once were. Oh dear. When you're in a duel with Krauser, never turn your back on him because of this! Speaking of dueling...
Prepare for your death.
You know, watch yourself. I love it. He steps on your hand. Careful, he'll trip you up. And then, of course, you just take way too damn long to put in the insignias. That's a lot of death. Next time on Resident Evil 4, we're in the next to last chapter. See you guys next time.